Here we go. Time for another sprint zone. This one's for 11:11, and this is some of the warm-up portion before we actually get to the melee. I thought I would showcase this a little bit because everyone's riding like really well. I'm looking at the handlebars, pretty much handlebar to handlebar. People are riding close enough, and this is really sweet. I like seeing this. Perhaps people are starting to get it, and I'm hoping they'll start bringing this to other rides, keeping very cognizant of like where they're riding, how they're riding, and all of that good stuff. And I'd like to take this time to thank, as usual, Ron Kennedy for his GoPro footage, and you can see the Ron cam in the upper left, and as well as his telemetry, along with John Kraft and his telemetry, which you can see in the middle of the screen. I believe John is at the front now, so you can see the difference in the wattages between me and him. There's a lot of wind coming off of our left shoulder where, if you're on the outside, you could definitely feel it. Earlier in this ride, I had to like slow this down a little bit because I was averaging like 200 watts, at the speed. But now it's like at least like reasonable. A few people thanked me on the way back, but when, of course, you're up front and you're a super, I think it was JC, John Kraft, and Carrie at the front. They're super strong, so they don't know when they're doing 290 watts, and, to them, it's just a walk in the park. Anyway, enough of my rambling, at least about that, as we get into the preparation for the melee. My heart rate's kind of high at this point. Maybe it's normal. I think my heart rate monitor actually fails in the middle of this, so that's kind of a bummer. I had been seeing the warning, like low battery on the Garmin, and I'm like, yeah, we'll just milk this puppy until it's gone. I'm not one to leave watts on the table, and that is true for in my products, batteries, and of course in my legs if I have it. And with that, we are into the zone. Looking ahead there, we can see there's a big ride today. It was a warm day. It was beautiful. And we turn to the east where there is a strong tailwind. And this is going to make it difficult. So I need to get closer to the front. Not feeling great, but hey, good shot of Elise and Rick there, looking strong. Don't know who that is off the back, who is kind of just trying to catch up. But we go through the group. There's a legend, Matthew Michaels there. Haven't seen him in a while. And everyone's riding really well, nicely on the correct side of the white line. And there was an attack up the road. I believe it was Danny was up the road on this one, and he had been joined, I think, by Carrie. And then I don't know who went after him, but this is dangerous here. Now, Matthew, a legend, and I don't know if people remember when he would just walk away on these, sort of like a super, and no one could catch him. But at this point, there are 3 strong men up the road. We've got JC back here leading the charge, but it's still very dangerous at this point. And you can see a gap beginning to open up. We got legendary Matthew Michaels. We got John Kraft Super starting to eke away from the group. And we see Brendan just letting the little bit of a gap open. It's like, I don't know if he doesn't have fast twitch muscles or just likes to keep his pace. If this were like TTH or Go Time or whatever, and there weren't enough people here to drag him back up later on, this would be an ejection, and the rest of us would just be gapped off. So this is dangerous right here. We crest the top of the hill. We can see the big men, the legends, up front with that little bit of a gap, and no one is doing anything. We got Fred in the blue sitting out there. Fred, a strong man, normally does something, but I don't know why he's sitting in. Finally, Bryce, another strong man, sees the lethargy in the group and goes for it. I see Carl in the gold not doing anything. I'm like, what is up with this? So I had chatted with Ron back there, and Ron's like, you going to go? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go, even though I was really tired. So my heart rate's up to 167, and I think that's as high as it ever gets, because I think my heart rate monitor is broken from this point on, but I was like gassed. My legs were tired. My Garmin has been telling me for the last 2 weeks that I'm strained. So I'm not certain what is up with that, but I was definitely not feeling it. But I figured it's game over anyhow, so I might as well go. Everyone looking pretty strong here. Ron takes over, and I am happy to drift back at this point. Got a good shot of the Ron cam, and you can see strongman, that little bit of a gap, and that did not have to happen. That did not have to happen. It would have just taken a little extra effort or a little more cognizant on the people that were right behind the person who opened up that gap. But people are just sitting there waiting for their time, tactically not as savvy as they should be, not recognizing the danger of this one. So I don't know how many of these people play chess. You see a pawn, you don't have to worry about that. You see 3 pawns, not too bad unless they are joined. But you see strong men. You see the super. You see JC walking away from you, willing to give you a free ride to the front, and you let that gap open up. The awareness there was not there, and here it is chaos. Everyone is chasing. Everyone is scrambling. At this point, I really don't have it. And my heart rate doesn't really show. I'm certain I'm in the 170s. Good shot of Lorraine back there from the Fort Collins Cycling Club. This might be her first or second TFR, but she's looking strong. Like all the riders that come over, all the A riders from the Fort Collins Cycling Club, they are really strong. And I'm happy to see that they have joined the TFR party here. And here I'm starting to get gapped off, but at this point, honestly, I am okay with it because I'm tired. Tired. And you can see the Ron cam up there. Still the gap has been open. It has not been closed yet. Everyone just struggling back here. And I wish I had a camera up front here. And I think JC sent me his power. He sent a little note that he was maybe going for the KOM on this one. I don't know if he got it. I think he might have. I'll have to check. But in any case, a good effort. And you can see the wattage that he's throwing out there. 335 watts. Ron with 207 or whatever. There's no catch in JC, and I suspect that he is with Matthew Michaels up there, and that is a dangerous combination. 2 legends in the sport, and everybody else is left scrambling. And it's almost like, I don't get it. There were people that do this every week, and I feel like I'm watching the old cartoons. What is it, which way did it go? Which way did it go? Is that a breakaway? Oh, what should I do? What should I do? Should I change? I don't know. It's just get on it, And of course, I know it's a sprint zone. And I've stated before, you can do whatever you want to do. But when gaps open up like that and you are not willing to do anything, you should just pull out and let other people come through. But everyone's got a different idea of what they want to do. And it's almost like playing chess. You need to learn what people are going to do. There's certain riders now that I have their characteristics. I know what they're going to do. I know who I don't want to be behind. I knew who I want to be behind. I know the bad wheels. I know the people who are going to surge. I know the people who are going to pull strong. I know the people who are smooth. And it's cool. But having to learn what's going to happen in a big group and to see, and of course not knowing who's strong. And here we are, and here we're back here. Fred doing some work at the front. Somehow that little gap opened up. I think Brendan opened up and kind of attacked here and is out in the middle of no man's land, not looking to help anybody, or maybe no one could go with him at that point. But if you had that kind of strength, why'd that gap open up in the first place? I don't know. I know I'm just getting on him for a little bit, but tactically, this is what I see here. And this is why a lot of the people back here have been gapped off. It's because of tactical issues, tactical errors here. But it's a strong group. I mean, the group that I'm in, and I'm not feeling that good. In fact, I'm feeling pretty horrible at this point. But the group I'm looking at, these are strong men. And still, we are back here, no doubt due to a tactical error here. A little bit of coasting by the gentleman in orange. I'm not sure if that's Bill, but anyhow, looking good. Now, Elisa takes up the mantle. Tired of watching things being done, going to make things happen here. She could see that there was exasperation and was going to take it up. And I was like, oh my gosh, Elisa is riding strong. I could not have done that on this day. Look at this, 28, 30 miles an hour or so, kicking butt here. And you're looking at the strong man. Look at JC up there, 32nd power, 380. So there's some big action happening up front. I need to like give him a camera and pay him to carry the extra weight there so I can see what is happening, because we are all just broken apart here. And this is what happens when there is a tailwind, especially when there are hills. And for those of you who have raced or know about racing, the best time to attack is with a tailwind and up a hill, because that totally minimizes the advantage of any people that are going to suck wheel or suck cape. And here we are, Elisa still out there driving, just driving hard here. Most impressive. And she had an accident a few weeks ago and is recovering, but it looks like, I don't know what she has done to recover, but it has turned her into a beast. And it is unfortunate that she was gapped off with me and the rest of us, because I am certain that she would have been up there with more of the leaders. In any case, it looks like Ron crest the top there, and the rest of us, or he passed somebody, and the rest of us are just kind of like sitting back, just fighting for the end of this one. And here we go. Everybody looking exasperated. Everybody shutting it down at this point, it looks like. Yeah, that was pretty good. Thank you, Elisa. A good shot of her there once again. A few other people just pushing past here. Yeah, that was good. It was good in one respect. I had a good workout. It was hard. Tactically, it just made me just cringe at what was going on here. And I think it's some of the lethargy looking for other people to do the work or whatever. In any case, there we go. Looks like JC. I'm guessing he won that one. Maybe Carrier. Looks like may have been second there. Looks like Ron making a good showing. May have turned around a little early, but nice showing here. And this is a huge group. I'm not certain how the legend Matthew Michaels made out in that one, but yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to start like providing cameras for everybody. In any case, that was a good one. Until next time, peace out.